to be at TC Camp again. Gosh, how many years has it been? I know we were at the very first one. We've been ever since. But why do we keep coming back to TC Camp? Well, there are a lot of events, a lot of trade shows that we go to, but this one's a bit different, being the quote-unquote unconference. It seems a little less formal. People feel a little more comfortable. Just hey, this might be a dumb question. We're happy to answer it's almost like people are just more approachable and it's more relaxed than a traditional conference. Well, we're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year, so we've been around a fair bit. But the key thing we bring to the market is we try to bring all of the power of XML, single source, and content reuse, but we try to do it with less technical requirements, less technical knowledge, where a lot of teams or a lot of systems have to roll in from the IT department down. Most of our customers start at the department level, roll out a solution, then another department says, hey, how'd you do that? And then we move into so we tend to come more from the bottom up. So we have all the single sourcing, the variables, the conditionals. We just try to make it a little bit friendlier and easier to implement. One of the things that's great for us from a vendor perspective is just how convenient this is. We're not bringing out, lots of big booths and, thousands of dollars of equipment, and it's easy to fly in the night before, have a great experience, meet a lot of people, but it's informal enough that, as you can see, a pop-up, some literature, it's very cost effective for the amount of people we get to reach and contact. My pleasure. I'm sure you'll see us next year.
Easy Data is here at TC Camp because we like the general area. We know this is a very innovative part of the country. We feel that this particular conference is a good one from the perspective of meeting people who are more forward-thinking, who are in the technology industry, who are representative of a lot of the things that are going to be happening in the future. Easy Data is the solution that will start with you when you are a startup, and there's a lot of startups here in this area. We can work with a team of 1 or 2 technical authors and still provide a lot of value. And we can grow with your organization as it becomes an enterprise. We have just rebuilt and re-engineered major aspects of our software. We are the most modern CCMS on the marketplace. We represent the software as a service. We represent modern technology. We are a system that is more akin to the things you're used to dealing with these days as opposed to your legacy, heavy, on-premise, IT-intensive applications that have been dominant in this marketplace for a long time. We solve the entire soup to nuts problem of creating, managing, publishing, and interacting with technical content. We have exceptional APIs and publishing connections, so we can become a part of the total information supply chain inside of your organization, as opposed to being a silo that's just this little thing off on the side.
This will be our 3rd year, I think, with TC Camp. We love the show, and it's a good time. It's nice to have a conference that's a little different from the rest, and it's a good opportunity for us to both talk to our customers and existing customers, and also always, potentially find some new customers. XMetal is the world's best XML editor. First is that it's the easiest to use XML tool that there is on the market. We try to make XML accessible for users of all ability ranges and all skill levels with XML and structured authoring. The second point is that XMetal is customizable. If there's anything that XMetal can't do, then you can customize the tool to make it what you want. And the third strength that we have is really our ability to partner with other vendors. We have relationships with most of the other XML vendors who are out there to provide joint solutions for the customers.
We are excited to sponsor TC Camp this year. One of the things that we really like about this format is it's different from a lot of other conferences that you see. As far as just being very accessible, lots of good conversations taking place here at the event. At Adobe, we have a lot of exciting things going on right now in technical documentation. We've just recently launched a brand new LMS called Captivate Prime. So if you hadn't seen that, go take a look. And then also on the technical communication suite, we continue to innovate that particular product set. FrameMaker, RoboHelp, as well as Captivate, Presenter, and Acrobat.
I was particularly interested in this workshop to find out a little more about how we go about talking about the field, especially with folks who are interested in it and making the jump, say, from technical writing into user experience writing, and what those differences are. I can use some of the elements they were talking about in describing what UX writing is, how it's different from technical writing, the elements of voice and tone, and how that impacts what we do in the interface itself and across the experience. Also interesting was the use of patterns and how creating patterns with our content can improve the user experience.
It was led by two people from Salesforce, and they each had a different point of view and angle on the presentation. It was good to have the team approach. Well, I understood where my company stands relative to some larger, more advanced, let's say, companies in terms of technical writing. I have a small team, and we're talking to people who have dozens of people working on these projects. But I still feel like they gave us information that we could use to advance the state of our business, even though we're not a big company. They got some metrics that showed customers are not interested in reading documentation. In fact, the key phrase he used was "doc is dead" to get everybody's attention. And we're switching from dense documentation to interactive documentation, interactive media almost, with different levels of detail that customers or users can guide themselves through the material a lot more easily and quickly than a thick document.
The single most important thing that I learned was how to tailor your resume and get your portfolio ready for potential job applications. I'm currently transitioning into this profession. I have a master's degree in electrical engineering, and right now I'm a stay-at-home mom. I take some time off for family, and just getting ready to get back to the job market. And so technical writing was something that I've been interested in writing for a long time, and with my technical background, I guess combining those two, I thought it would be a good way to go as far as job search is concerned. And this workshop pointed me in the right direction in terms of where to look, how to get ready, and where to connect, and people to get connected with, and locations and the hot areas, the tools that are currently.
I'm interested in GitHub, and I'm interested in version control and what it can do for my company. Version control is very important to us because we do product development for solar, and it's very important, especially with certification bodies and permit offices, for us to know exactly which bits of the document went out. So it's important for us to also keep track of what revisions we made in our documents. The single most important thing that I learned from the session is that GitHub is really useful for version control and for revision history. So it's important not only for making sure that each revision has its own stamp and number, but also for keeping track of what conversations were had, which changes were made, and for what reason.